President Joe Biden apparently triggered Jeanine Pirro of Fox News, who still exists. I don't know where she's been, but apparently she did not like the fact that President Joe Biden had some tough talk in regard to individuals, travelers specifically, who have been giving flight attendants a difficult time in regard to mask mandates. Before we get to Pirro, stay tuned for that. Let's go to what Biden had to say during his press conference.
I'm announcing that the Transportation Safety Administration, the TSA, will double the fines on travelers that refuse to mask. If you break the rules, be prepared to pay. And by the way, show some respect. The anger you see on television toward flight attendants and others doing their job is wrong, it's ugly.
Now, Jeanine Pirro sees that statement and thinks to herself and says in the public, no, I want to be mean to flight attendants. Let's watch.
I am sick and tired of his going up against Abbott and DeSantis and then saying to the flight attendants, you know what, show some respect for the flight attendants. Maybe some of the flight attendants ought to show some respect to us, okay? If you're trying to feed a 2-year-old yogurt without the mask on and they decide to throw the mother off, I mean, I could go on and on about the absurdity of people who don't have power, who are suddenly engaged and have power, then they abuse it.
I mean, we've shown so many examples of people being unruly on these flights. I mean, to the point where they assault flight attendants and need to be duct taped to the seat so they don't cause harm to the flight attendants or to others. I'm talking about physical harm. So I love that Jeanine Pirro made up a scenario that doesn't exist, right? People have been flying during the pandemic, and if they need to eat something, they're allowed or able to take their mask off temporarily to eat and then put the mask back on. But she's trying to completely fabricate a situation in an effort to push back against what Biden is doing here. And look, I'm gonna keep it real. I love that Biden is being stronger on what needs to be done in order to battle this pandemic, where COVID numbers and deaths are still spiking when we have a vaccine that can prevent people from being hospitalized or dying from coronavirus.
Yeah, I can't get enough of this new tough guy, Biden. Go ahead, Jeanine, make my day.
Oh my God.
Okay. So I think somebody told him that the COVID-19 is corn pop, and so
go for it.
And they both start with CO. Think about it, okay? Grab that chain, Biden. Let's go to work. Okay, now Pirro, seriously, well, not seriously, because she's a goofball. Here's my favorite part. She's like, and you're trying to feed a baby or a 2-year-old yogurt, and that's why you got your mask off. Wait, what? Why do you need your mask off to feed the baby?
Oh, I misunderstood. I thought she was talking about the child's mask.
No, she said that, and the mother has to have the mask off.
Yeah,
really?
no, the mother does not have to have the mask off. The mother can keep the mask on while she's feeding the baby.
I know you're on a plane, but it's not one of those things where, hey, when the airbag falls, make sure you put yours on first before you put it on your child, right? You know how they tell you that in the safety thing? This is not, make sure you take your mask off first before you give your kid yogurt. That's not at all necessary. And most relevant point here is the one Anna made. You're allowed to take your mask off to eat food on the plane anyway, which honestly is a little absurd, right? But those are the rules.
Yeah.
So saying, I can't believe they're not letting my baby eat or letting me be maskless while my baby eats, it's just counterfactual. But again, it's right-wing media, so no one, including the audience, gives a damn about facts.
Right, that's exactly right. Because look, this isn't really about mask on, mask off, right? This is really about exploiting a tragic situation that we're dealing with for new culture war topics, right? They turned this pandemic into a culture war, and it didn't need to be this way. But hey, I mean, what else is Fox gonna do? What else are right-wingers who produce content gonna do? You think they're gonna talk about issues that actually matter? No, they're always looking for the next culture war issue to scare their viewers, but more importantly, to avoid talking about the bread and butter issues that actually do have an impact on the lives of the very people who are watching their shows. You think they're gonna talk about universal pre-K? I mean, Fox Business yesterday made the same mistake again. Stuart Varney was like, this reconciliation bill, they wanna offer you universal pre-K, paid family leave. How dare they? And it's like, I don't know, sounds pretty good.
Yeah, it reminds me of that time, I saw that graphic, it was like the Democratic agenda, and we're like, oh, keep that up. Yeah, please keep that graphic up forever on Fox.
Yeah.
It reminds me of the time a couple of years ago when they sent someone to cover an AOC rally, and AOC was talking about free healthcare, and then the quasi reporter came back and was like, I mean, it's like socialism, outrageous, ridiculous. I mean, it was so ridiculous, it sounded really good. Like, what, our families could get all free healthcare like everybody else in the world does, like in Europe and Japan and Canada? It sounded really good.
Yeah.
And then they're like, okay, we gotta go. We gotta go. Yes, our agenda does sound pretty good to normal Americans. And that's why instead they talk about hashtag yogurt, hashtag baby yogurt.
Right.
My baby can't get enough yogurt if I got a mask on.
Yeah, that's it. That's all it is. That's all it is. And they weigh in on these nonsense culture war issues, or they turn serious issues into culture war issues, even though they know that people are dying as a result of what they're putting out there, the misinformation that they're very intentionally putting out there, but they don't care.
No, I'm not kidding. We talked about this before. I mean, it's just a fact. You could be offended by it or not, it doesn't matter. The Republicans, through this cultural war of being anti-mask, anti-vaccine, have actually literally killed off thousands of their own voters in critical swing states. So if the Republican Party goes under because of stuff like this, their tombstone will write, dying to own the libs. And they did. That's literally what they did.
Got them.
Yeah, well, boy, you got us. But here we are, being the libs that we are, we're still trying to talk you out of it. Like, if we were actually anywhere near the Machiavellian figures that Fox News paints, they'll make you drink Starbucks every day, right?
Now until forever.
Right. We would be like, oh yeah, no, conservatives, I bet vaccines are a terrible idea. And you don't want any mass, especially when you guys are all together in one place. You don't want that. And instead, we're like, hey, please, can you not kill yourselves? And they're like, oh yeah, we gotta own the libs, freedom. Okay, well, if you think Jeanine Pirro is an intelligent person to listen to, and you get your advice from her, there's not much we can do to help you.
One final thing, when she says, well, why don't the flight attendants respect us? They bring you refreshments. Like, I mean, what more do you want? Even when there's turbulence, sometimes when it's too much, they have to stop. But like, please respect working people, including flight attendants. Like, just, it's not that hard.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.